for prelims preparation. I made this mistake about going to the internet and doing more research than what the coaching materials or any standard books provide. I mostly relied on ChatGPT and Claude, CLAUD. More than the test series, I found the mentorship more helpful because I was actually able to look at my own shortcomings, and secondly, my parents were extremely supportive. And even when just before the results came out, they were also like reassuring me that it's all right. Even if you don't, we can always go for another chance. Then they have the support. And yes, sir, these two were the two factors apart from those other things which kept me going with the preparation. My father, he brought a computer when I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. So that's when my interest in computers began. And yes, and he used to teach me a lot of things and how to operate, how to format BIOS. I used to do a lot of things when I was like still in like second or third. So that's something which created an interest in computers, especially computer hardware and everything. And yes, so this also kind of had an influence during my high school that I wanted to pursue this computer science engineering as well if I ever get a chance. Yes, sir. And then that's why a little bit late to the celebration, the Lead celebration. I was late because I was at that state of confusion, like what am I supposed to do? And then I realized it's a good thing. I have got this chance and I have to do justice.
So today in Lead IAS Success Podium, we have Aravind Narayanan. Aravind Narayanan secured rank 528 in the civil service exam result announced this year. So Aravind Narayanan is a doctor by profession, and he cleared civil service exam in his second serious attempt, and he pursued our momentum writing program, Prelims Killer program, and also our main killer answer writing program for prelims qualified students. We are very proud of Aravind Narayanan securing this rank, and for his last 2-year journey, Lead IAS was with him, and he used the entire learning ecosystem of Lead IAS for this success. So we're very happy about Aravind. Aravind, congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir. I am Aravind Narayanan. I'm from Trivandrum, and I graduated MBBS from SUT, Institute of Medical Sciences from Vattapara. And shortly after I graduated, I got into preparation. And then for the last 1 year, I have been associated with the test series courses from Lead IAS, and now I have secured a rank.
Okay. Aravind, in your journey, when did you decide that you should try for civil service? You are a doctor by profession, so I think you did in practice. When did you decide?
So actually, I have already decided for civil services way back in high school. And the only dilemma I had was what to choose for graduation. Like, I was interested in a lot of subjects. I wanted to do medicine. I was interested in computer science engineering. At one point, I also wanted to join ISRO, IIST and ISRO. So yes, at that point, I chose to take medicine. And then I have already decided that immediately after graduation, I would go for this. And so that's how it.
How did you take the first step? I'm asking this question because many viewers of this interview would be clueless where to start. So if an aspirant has a vague idea that they should prepare for civil service, so what is the first step somebody should take?
So first step, I think, for preparation, especially broad like exam like civil services where anything can be asked from under the sun. So the most important thing the quality we should develop is to have a sense of curiosity, to try to look for answers that about things that happen around us. That's the first thing. You ask questions, you learn about them. It can, boost that sense of learning, the need for learning within you. So that's the first thing to do before entering into preparation, because if we are not prepared for that, we will be overwhelmed by the amount of syllabus, the books we have, which is actually needed for this exam. So that first step is to have curiosity, and then we will be mentally prepared to go forward with the preparation.
Curiosity about the exam or curiosity about the world around you?
Because the exam itself involves questions from everything around the world. So yes, a curiosity about the world is the first step, and then it can be channeled into preparation.
It is very striking. I think last year, October, UPSC chairman gave an interview as part of its 75th anniversary. And UPSC chairman itself said curiosity should be the first quality that aspirants should have to crack civil service exam. Now you are also giving the same reply. Very good. So once you understand the syllabus, um, syllabus is always the starting point, I guess.
Yes.
So once you understand the syllabus, how an aspirant should build the content?
So first of all, when we look at the syllabus, the syllabus is to give us a sense of direction, that this is what you're supposed to study and everything. But this may not be always the case when it comes to the questions that are being asked in prelims or mains. So syllabus should be used as a framework, a skeleton at the time of preparation. And the PYQs, the topics, the areas which are covered in PYQs should be connected to the syllabus. This is the starting point. So this gives us a sort of a border that where we should stop being curious. Like curiosity is a main element, but at the same time, this is also an exam. So we have to be realistic, and by understanding the syllabus and the PYQs that has been asked, we can create a boundary within which we can put maximum energy.
Any civil service success requires 2 years of dedicated preparation, 1 year entirely for preparation and 1 year for writing exam.
Yes.
And that's true in your case also. So you started to seriously prepare for civil service in 2024 by enrolling for our Bounceback program.
Yes.
And after that, how was your schedule like? So how did you prepare your optional along with your GS? So how did you manage the time in the last 2 years?
Yes, sir. First of all, if I start from optional, so optional is something which I decided I could prepare myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I wouldn't call it the best way to go because it took a lot of time.
Anthropology is your option.
Anthropology was my optional, and it took way more time than it should be. If I had enrolled a course, I would have saved a lot of time. So yes, if I look at my schedule, anthropology had a huge chunk of time was like kept for anthropology. And apart from that, so when it comes to the GS part, the rest of the subjects, sir, I mostly relied on the test series schedules. And it was a weekly test. When I joined here, it was a weekly test. So I made sure that 1 week was kept for the subject to make notes and revise and everything. So I stick to the schedule of the momentum test series. And then the same, when it comes to prelims, it was the same thing. Again, I stuck to the schedule of test series. So I could make sure I am also, improving in my tests, as well as I am having an overall, coverage of all the syllabus. So yes, sir, I largely stuck to this test series schedules.
Yes, following the schedule is the best accountability mechanism to finish the entire syllabus and all.
Yes, sir, because it will make sure we are not missing anything out. We are not following the trend, because when we join a test series, the test series or any crash course, anything of that sort, they already know the trend. I'm actually preparing for like 2 years. The people who are teaching us, they have been doing it for the past 10, 15 years. So they have a better idea, the trend and everything. So yes, so keeping it with the schedule will make sure I'm following the trend. I am like giving more priority to those important areas. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll quickly come to that wonderful point. You got more than 50 marks from the cutoff in this prelims. So what actually worked for you?
Yes, sir. So for prelims 2025 last year, I went across 3 answer keys, and I was getting around 130 to 136 range. So the first thing that helped me was I was actually really calm during the prelims, because first of all, my prelims 2024 was a bit tense. I was stressed because I was expecting something like the 2023 type, the way the questions were framed in 2023. I was stressed and everything. But after the 2024 paper when I found it returned to the original trend, I was so calm during the 2025 exam. And apart from that, during my preparation, I found some new ideas. in the lead prelims test series, we had this program called roundtable discussions, where the weekly test series, the questions are being discussed by our mentorship group. We used to correct each other's strategies on how we solved particular questions. For example, let's say I made a mistake on question number 18, and a friend next to me, he got it right. Then he would tell me what method he used, what kind of logic or elimination, how he used. And I got those ideas from all those around me, and it really helped me during this prelims. And yes, sir, again, and one another thing is, we cannot study everything for prelims. That's like kind of impossible. We can never be really 100% done with the syllabus. So we need to know the bare minimum. We should be well versed in it, and by discussing with friends how we solve the logic, the intelligent guessing, and all those things, we can improve our marks.
So, when you talked about curiosity, so when you prepare for civil service preliminary exams, how do you satisfy your curiosity as such? Would you search for more content in internet? What was the mechanism for that?
Okay, so for prelims, when I started prelims, for prelims preparation, I made this mistake about going to the internet and doing more research than what the coaching materials or any standard books provided. That's because we have this access to internet, which was not the case maybe a decade ago. So this overwhelming information on the internet, and this feeling of trying to learn more than my competitor. I did these mistakes earlier, and I realized the mistakes and found out it's not possible to learn everything, and will even make us difficult to remember the basic stuff. So yes, sir, I relied on internet earlier, but then I stopped doing it. I realized that we have to keep a boundary on what we have to learn and what to skip.
So the test series gave you a schedule, and test series gave you a boundary.
Yes,
so
sir.
You simply stick on to the content provided in the test series itself.
Yes, sir. Content provided the test series, as well as I've relied on some these current affairs magazines from institutes. These all things give me a boundary that I should stick for, at least like remind me that first finish these topics, and if you are okay with it, go for additional from.
How many papers you would solve? Um, um, because many aspirants has this tendency of solving so many question papers. So in your last prelims, apart from the Prelims Killer test series, how many other question papers you solved?
Sir, actually, I am not a fan of solving many questions, because so I really didn't. I only stuck to the test series questions, as well as the PYQ, the previous year question papers, which were also discussed in the course. So that's all I did. I did not go for additional test series from other coachings, nothing of that sort.
Is prelims more challenging or mains?
Sir, I found mains more challenging, more stressful, tiring. Prelims is relatively easier compared to mains, at least for me. It was my experience.
Okay. So tell us little about how did you manage your mains?
Yes, it started after my 2024 prelims. I decided to join Lead, the momentum batch. And because of the weekly tests that was going on, I made my notes and everything. It was all going well, and then the prelims started, and I cleared prelims. So then the real problem began. So when I joined the mains test series, mains killer test series, that's when I realized the notes which I made during momentum, the earlier test series, it was too bulky. The mistake that I said before, that I took lots of information from the internet, I realized I won't be able to study my notes during this short period of time. So that's when I sort of and also, sir, I am versed with AI and how to use AI and everything. So that way, during that mains preparation, within that 3 months, I took almost 2 weeks to make short notes of almost every subject, all the syllabus points, as well as the previous year questions using AI, short notes using AI. And the notes are crisp, multidimensional, easy to remember, mnemonics and everything. So that's how I managed most of my time during mains. So yes, I made short notes using mains and using AI, and then I found some time for anthropology as well, because even though I studied anthropology myself, I have never given a test before. So I had to join a test series, and I'm sort of revising anthro for the first time during those 3 months. So yes, sir, it was especially stressful, and yes, I relied more on AI.
So when did you make not from AI? So do you used to prompt AI in a specific way? And after they're bringing the content, what kind of alteration that you would make in that content? So I just wanted to understand, because many students has this tendency to just stick on and copy paste the content that AI is produced without tinkering with that content.
Yes.
So what kind of approach you had when used AI extensively for mains?
Yes, sir. When I used AI, I realized this thing called there is a AI hallucinations.
Yes.
So the AI model tries to make up new facts or bring answers out of thin air without any proof or any reference. So this is especially dangerous for GS and very dangerous for optional, because optionals tend to be a bit more specific when it comes to the topics. So what I did was I will feed the AI with information earlier. So if I am going to make notes of a particular topic, I will find some sources, like let's say for example NCRT. I will find NCRT. I will copy paste the entire chapter into the AI model, and then ask AI to make notes out of the topic I gave, the content I gave. So that way I could make sure that AI is sticking to the book and not bringing contents from outside or hallucinating anything. So this was my approach, making notes. I will give it content and then ask it to curate it and make proper notes for it.
Okay. Did you use the existing note you prepared from Momentum to get another copy of a summary of that notes, or you just use the standard materials to feed the content to AI?
So when it comes to, at least for note making for mains, sir, I feed my content from that main Momentum. So I had my Momentum notes, but I knew it was not enough, because the notes I made it myself, and I know that lots of current developments have happened, and there may be some may not be. I thought maybe my notes are not sufficient, so I relied on some free content that I found online. Many websites upload their content for free for people to download. I took one or two materials from them as well. I will upload it into the AI chatbot, and then I will make notes. So my Momentum notes as well as
Okay.
other.
Which generative AI model that you used?
So I mostly relied on ChatGPT and Claude, CLAUDE, Claude.
Okay, all right. So then you copy paste those content to some of the knowledge management system you have.
Yes.
Which one is that?
No, sir, I did not use any knowledge management, just a regular chatbot.
Okay, so but where do you copy paste it? I mean,
And then I made most all of my notes in Google Docs.
Google Docs.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So I will copy paste into it, and then I will fact check the original just to make sure that AI still didn't make any mistake.
Okay.
I will just open the source material and my notes side by side just to compare it.
Okay.
One last.
Okay. Did you ask AI to give feedback on your answers?
Yes, sir. I did not. I used this way. I used AI for essays. Sir. I used to brainstorm essays. I asked AI. I gave it some instructions on what all things you should expect from me, like the keywords, the brainstorming points, the dimensions, and everything. I will give it instructions on how to evaluate my responses, and then I started giving my essay brainstorms into ChatGPT, and I'll ask it to evaluate and give me some more extra points or extra keywords, dimensions, better examples, and all these things.
Okay.
I did not use it for my regular answer writing, because I had mentorship. For essay, I needed a little bit more. Apart from what I got, I wanted a bit more. That's why I used AI for evaluating my essay brainstorms.
All right. All right. Now let's come to the answer writing part. So I asked this question to every topper. So what are your priorities in answer writing?
So my first priority in answer writing is to finish the paper. Every question, every page should be filled. That's the top priority. If we start working on it from like the first test itself, as time passes, our quality will automatically improve. The more content we learn, the more subjects we study, we can use facts from other subjects into a different subject. From one subject to a different subject, we can bring in topics. So the first priority should be to finishing it on time, which most people still don't do it. As at the end, they always miss a 10 marker or 15 marker. I made sure when I entered Mains Killer, for almost every test, except I think one ethics test, which I was clueless, actually, fully clueless. Every other test, I managed to complete the paper, even though the answers and the examples and statistics were weak. I made sure the questions were completed.
Okay. A Lead IAS mains test series evaluation is special. We do it in a very different way. So, how do you find that competitive ecosystem and evaluation useful?
So, firstly, since I joined test series in Lead because I found lots of student candidates are there in the program, so I could get a better evaluation of myself, like at least know my place among the crowd. So that's why I joined Lead in the first place. And secondly, sir, more than the test series, I found the mentorship more helpful because yes, sir, I was actually able to look at my own shortcomings, and at the same time, as the test series progressed, I was able to notice the difference between the way I wrote answers the first time versus the last exams. I was able to see how I improved my points, how I made it more crisp. The word count also drastically, I reduced it. I used to write in paragraphs. From there, I went to phrases. Yes, sir. Mostly the test series which helped me stick to the schedule, and the mentorship which like improved me with every test. Yes, sir. I found it really helpful.
Okay. All right. Now let's turn to interview part. I think you have an early interview date,
Yes,
right?
early.
In this. So how did you manage your time? I mean, did you start your interview preparation immediately after mains, or you wait till your mains result to come out?
I wanted to start it immediately after mains, but sir, as I have said earlier, the mains, the phase was extremely tiring and stressful. I wanted to take a break, so I realized maybe I should wait till the interview results. The interview results was surprising, and then I came to you, sir. I came to like how to approach the next thing before the date comes. How should I start? And yes, I got. Then I started reading newspapers more often for the interview, and yes, sir. It was mostly after the mains result came. I started to like worry about interview.
All right. Great. So after the results get out, I think that's where the serious interview preparation
Serious,
happens.
yes.
So how was your preparation then?
So at that time, my preparation was largely analyzing all those keywords in my DAF. So that was the first thing. I looked at some videos on the internet, like how to pick up keywords and what kind of questions they ask based on each of those keywords. So that was my first thing. The first priority was to identify what areas would the panel cover. So, and after that, I started brainstorming questions. So I got the flow chart from Lead on interview, like what kind of questions they ask from each area. So I started brainstorming questions based on my place, my name, my parents' name, the graduation, the optional, the hobbies and interests, and all those things. So that was my approach. I brainstormed as soon as possible, and I was waiting for the date. So if I get the date, then I will be more serious. So I just brainstormed questions, and I used to practice like asking questions myself on the mirror and all those things.
Okay. How was your real interview experience?
So my real interview was actually really friendly. I was not expecting that friendly when I was surprised. And the interview style was more of a discussion. They will pick up a topic and then there will be a discussion on those topics rather than asking factual questions or testing our knowledge. I found that they are mostly trying to look at how we see things, how we would analyze the things that are going around us. The questions largely revolved around the US invasion of Venezuela, and then a few topics from my graduation and the airline crisis that was going on in December. And yes, so they were just looking at my approach and they were not focused more on my factual knowledge and everything. And the discussion went fine. The panel was very friendly, smiling. It was going well.
Okay, great. So after hearing your preparation story, I feel that you are well organized around a schedule. and you always try to improve upon what you are written. All right, so these are very good qualities that every serious aspirant should have. But beyond this preparation, this schedule, what are your hobbies and interests? So what keeps you going after preparation?
So, firstly, apart from all the hard work we have put in, we also have to make sure the environment we are doing all of these things. So, when I started my preparation, like I was sure that I was not going to Delhi for preparation. I just wanted a better environment, like around my family and everything. So that was the first thing. Apart from all the schedules and organized and improvement on that, this was the first thing to make sure my environment was good. And secondly, my parents were extremely supportive. Uh, and even when just before the results came out, they were also like reassuring me that it's all right. Even if you don't get, we can always go for another chance. And they have their support. And yes, sir, these two were the two factors apart from those other things which kept me going with the preparation.
Okay. You have diverse interest in, I think, in computer science.
Yes.
You're a doctor, but still you manage a lot of computer-based programming, gaming, a lot of things like that.
Yes.
So tell us about a little bit about that interest as well.
My father, he brought a computer when I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. So that's when my interest in computers began. So, and yes, and he used to teach me a lot of things and how to operate, how to format BIOS. I used to do a lot of things when I was like still in like second or third standard. So that's something which created an interest in computers, especially computer hardware and everything. And yes, so this also kind of had an influence during my high school that I wanted to pursue this computer science engineering as well if I ever get a chance. But then we had other plans and then had to move to medicine. Yes, so this and but even after I was doing even while I was doing MBBS, I always had this interest about computers and whatever is happening right now, all those major companies and the new products and what changes are they bringing. And yes.
So just curious to understand. So how was your result day? You checked the results in a PDF, or did someone call you?
Yes, sir. So the rumors about result being announced started from March 2nd. So I was like really stressed for the first 2 3 days, second, third, and fourth. After that, I was like I didn't care. I didn't care about the result. It can come whenever it wants. And then one day I was having lunch, and I just happened to open Telegram and I saw a few congratulations. That's when I realized the result came, and I opened the PDF and when I saw my rank, I cannot describe how I felt. I mean, I was confused. At first, the first thing for me was confusion. Like, should I be happy? Like, this journey may have ended. I should be happy, or should I go for improvement? So those sort of things came to my mind. Is this a good rank? Can I stop preparation right now, or should I go for another attempt? And those thoughts came to my mind. And then I stopped and I called my parents. I gave them a surprise about the rank, and they were extremely happy, excited. And so that gave me a little reassurance that yes, maybe I should feel good about it. I made it to the list, and after that I searched some of my friends' names into the list, and some of them couldn't make it. So uh, the confusion about should I be happy or sad, it went away. I felt grateful that I made it to the list. Yes, sir. And then that's why a little bit late to the celebration, the lead celebration. I was late because I was at that state of confusion, like what am I supposed to do? And then I realized it's a good thing. I have got this chance and I have to do justice.
According to you, which is more significant in UPSC success? One is content, second skill, the third mindset.
So for me, mindset comes first because mindset first, then skills and content. So because mindset, because for me, the biggest reason for what I'm expecting this prelims, the marks, it's the mindset because I was extremely calm, and when people are calm, they can make more rational decisions. So this applies to the intelligent guessing that we do. during during the prelims. And again, sir, for mains, I made sure I had a good night's sleep before every exam. I was not stressing. I was not studying till 1 and then waking up at 4. I made sure I had a 6-7 hours of sleep before every main, so that I wake up calm and go to the exam center and be the same way. Again, that helps me focus on the questions properly. And again, sir, in the interview, initially I was stressful, but later on, the more sessions I did, I again realized the key to having a good interview experience is again the mindset of being calm. So skills, it depends on people. For me, I'm not a person who can mug up a lot of things. I need to have context about the facts which I'm learning, which that only helps me try to remember it. So skills, people have different skills, and for me, I have a bit of an aptitude in maths. So if I don't prepare for CSAT, I just qualify it every time. So skills depend on people; they have different things. And the third is content, so because content is not an issue anymore. Right now, we have internet, we have AI. There is no limit on how amount of content we can get. So the content should be a last priority.
So, what is the percentage of luck in your success?
Actually, I cannot talk like talk about luck right now because I haven't seen my mark sheet yet. So when I see the mark sheet, I can see how much luck I have I because I still don't know in which subject I scored the highest or lowest. Maybe it's the optional or the interview, so I don't know. So if I get good marks for anthropology, then luck would have a very high percentage. If it is something else, maybe it was my own thing.
So, what is your message to future aspirants? So many are struggling, and some of them are starting. So, from your journey, what insight you would drive to them?
The first thing I would say is, uh, even though I have talked about curiosity and all those things, we have to first of all treat this exam just like any other examination. We should not make it like we should not give it a place in life higher than other things. We have other priorities as well. We have to make sure we have a solid backup before getting into this preparation, because I have seen and read experiences of lots of people who have put years into this preparation and um, couldn't make it to the list, and also a career gap in their life. So the first thing they have to keep in mind is to have a good backup in any case if anything goes wrong. And secondly, should be to ask the right questions. Like, be aware of everything that's happening around you, ask the right questions. And thirdly, while asking the right questions, we also need to know the boundary, that where the relevance for this exam ends and where extra things begin. So we have to create a boundary that we should also stick to the boundary when it comes to studying for this examination, and we should not be overwhelmed or maybe a feeling of FOMO when we look at others' answer copies or the materials and everything. We should try to keep a limit on how much we can study. That's it.
You relied mostly on the content provided by Lead IAS Academy. So the test series materials and other materials you had used. How did you find it useful?
Yes, sir. When I got the Lead IAS materials, so I already had some of my own notes. So I was able to identify the shortcomings in my own notes. I realized how there is a lot more than what I had. So in that way, I was able to add some of the content from Lead. This is how I made sure my notes and my content was actually sufficient. And then I used AI and all those things.
Okay. So what are the classes that you attended here? So what are the main sessions that you attended?
Main sessions, I attended the test series programs of yours. So immediately after 2024 prelims, I joined the Momentum Mains Test Series. And once it ended and the Prelims Killer began, and after that, after I cleared prelims, again I came back to Lead for Mains Test Series. And then once I cleared mains, came back for interview.
All right. Thank you so much, Aravind. It was nice talking to you, and wishing you all the best. I would always say this to all officers, future officers. Getting a result is just one milestone. The entire career spans out before you, and be a good officer and make all of us proud as a good officer. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
with
you.
us.
Lead IAS, #1 IAS Academy in Kerala.